Okay, here we are live, I think, yes. And I can put it on record. Now we are update. And to the topic, we are a few seconds ahead of time, almost, but we are beginning to the topic. Is trauma useful some way? First of all. But we are pointing towards being a spiritual being. We are pointing towards the purpose of everyone to be enlightened, at least means awaken the intelligence. And nobody can deny, no, I don't want to awaken my intelligence. I don't want to see the truth. I don't want to see the world. So here in the spiritual way, we are progressing to awaken our intelligence. Who am I? We think we are very high meditators. We can see the point of view of intelligence, formation of ego, function of the mind, effects on endocrine system, and the formation of the body. We know everything. No? We are enlightened being. This is how people are enlightened, means I can see my intelligence functioning, creating a point of view, making meaning out of it and reacting over it. No, I can see the whole drama. I am out of it. I am transcendental being. I am out of it. So first of all, Jenny, to let you know, I have been working with Dr. Powell over the same topic, trauma.
Interesting.
Yeah, only on trauma, we have like few months, in full detail, and different kinds of traumas like teenagers, different age groups, sexual relationship, reactive depression, so different kinds of traumas, and what to do about it in this, like a little bit medical way of Pavel, because he is a medical doctor, so he always keeps his angle, therapeutic angle. And we combined it, this all trauma techniques, to Vigyan Bhairotantra meditation book, classical meditation book in India, which has 112 techniques. So which trauma, how it will function, and I have improvised it also practically for 10 minutes, each one. So a great work we have done. But here, our pulse of wisdom, we are again coming up with you in your point of view that how you, there are technically we define, just to let you know, technically as a therapist, we will define trauma as a modern way as a therapist, that any incident an individual is perceiving or going through, and he has not completed his experience. Like suppose an accident happening, somebody dying, or some accident happens, in which a person who is perceiving doesn't want to see it. So a trauma you don't want to remember, and you have not made the experience complete. Like your sense organs are resisting to see, resisting to hear, resisting to feel. So any way you resist and do not complete your experience with your life, it will all become a trauma, a generalized way of interpreting trauma, what is trauma, in a simple way to the people that we live our life. And when we live, we see, we hear, we taste, we feel, all sense organ involved. Suppose a rape has happened, in which no sense organ is being involved. All are resisting, blocked. Person doesn't want to see, doesn't want to feel, doesn't want to be there in that moment. It will cause a severe trauma. Completely no way want to see it, neither want to recall it. So if we meditate, what we face? Only our traumas, which comes, no? Like, and if you fight to concentrate your mind and not to remember the trauma becomes bigger. Because saying no means saying yes. So in that way, people get caught. Some people get caught. Trauma could be very simple. But if you try to make it away from you, meditating silently, watching breath, not allowing trauma, you will be struggling with yourself a lot. Rather, if you take a therapeutic angle, interpret the trauma, that in essence, it is not, person is not ready to remember and involving his senses to relive it. So if we don't want to relive something from the past, it's our trauma, and it's a great obstacle in meditation. Because anyway, our attention goes always to the unhealthy part first. Like if teeth are healthy, we don't remember whether we have it, we don't have it. If it's asking attention, means it is the problem. So body asking me, we don't feel it, it's healthy. The moment it becomes sick, we feel it. So a healthy body, we don't feel that we are a body. Only the obstacle we feel. Same is the case with the mind. It's also same like body, but little bit subtle body, mind. When we meditate, it will go somewhere. And where it will go? If you look generalized way, it's going only to traumas, the experiences which has not been lived and left behind. If we general way, we say it's a trauma, but this is the source of enlightenment. This is the only source of enlightenment as far as if you are a Raj Yogi and you watching the mind, that for you is a treasure. Because each place where the mind is going is a trauma. If you can relive it, you say, oh, I'm a great meditator, evolving inside. If trauma is bigger, it will suck you. When trauma starts to suck people and they cannot handle, they look for Dr. Jenny Ambrose. So here, a simple way of defining trauma in a medical generalized way so that people can grasp it, what we are talking about, and how we are pointing it, that it can be a source of intelligence awakening. In a simple way, if anybody meditates, mind goes to the trauma, some difficulties. And if you can remain observant with some technique of asana, pranayama, imagination, healing, whatever you apply, and then you say, oh, now I can face it. I grown up. I grown up with an insight. So watching and reliving it, it helps generate insight when all the senses gets involved to bring out the meaning. So a therapist can support here. I am there with you. I support you. I guide you. Let's go and relive it. Then a meditator sometimes needs a therapist, or a common person needs first a therapist, and then push them to meditate and let them face their own trauma, give them tools and techniques, and empower them. So that's the purpose here, Jenny, to empower people with your techniques, which you have been collecting this pulse in your journey experience working with people with different age groups. So it's up to you to decide about, I would like if you can give focus also to some special age group, how to handle differently. And here you are welcome to throw your insights and techniques. Understanding trauma in a point of view that if a mind is going to the traumas, it will always go. If you will try to stop it, you will either cripple yourself or your mind. Either of them or both can be damaged. So here we need an insight. First, a point of view changed that trauma can be a source of enlightenment. And to our journey, we are the proof. Yes, it is. If any growth you notice in yourself, it's you coming over your traumas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why the rose-colored glasses were.
Nice. So welcome, Jenny, and enlighten us on this topic. How trauma can be the source of enlightenment, your journey, your meeting with people, personal case histories you have resolved. anything, we are all ears to listen.
Well, I always say there's many paths to the same destination. And it made me think of I did a concert once where a group of people came and I just played the piano. I just
Uh-huh.
closed my eyes and whatever I played, I played. And after the class or during the class, people started to cry. And what happened was, like you said, they kind of went into a meditative state, but the sounds triggered things, vibrations or consciousness. And afterwards, a woman came up to me and hugged me, and she was crying, and she said this brought back when I was riding in the car with my mother and we were fighting, and I told her I hated her and I wish she was dead, and they got in a car accident and her mother died. And so she was carrying the guilt of that. And by getting quiet and the different tones of the frequencies of music actually regurgitated that, and she had a healing from it. So that was a really powerful thing to watch and understand with just music and being quiet, which you affirm with meditation. It's going into the situation. Now, with Reiki, or, for me, Reiki is about touch. Some people don't get touched enough. And sometimes when you put your hands around their face and you hold them, it helps them to bring things up that they need to
Yeah,
release
the
also.
children which has not been properly touched or enough touched, the love or trust and this kind of
Mhm.
things. Yes, Reiki works a lot to bring out all these things from the childhood.
Well, and I think of my father that I took care of for 15 years. I think the reason he lived so long, besides the fact I took him off all drugs, um, I was raising my last two children, and they were climbing over him, they were touching him, they were loving him. And I look at elderly homes and I think and I see that there isn't a lot of touch there. There's not a lot of love being given there. So I think holding people in a loving state gives them the ability to bring that up to heal also. I
Mhm.
know Patch Adams that I met. I don't know if anybody remembers him. He's kind of older, but he would go into people's homes from trauma or illness and stay there for a week. And he was a medical doctor. And he would stay in their house and go through their photo books and everything to see what created the trauma so that it could be healed. Because a lot of people aren't even aware or remember the trauma, they completely block it. And then he ended up starting a hospital down in Virginia. It's all by donation. He wouldn't let the government get involved at all. And they have medical doctors down there. Everybody makes $10 an hour, even the doctors that go down there and work. So he was just a brilliant man. But the piano, rose colored glasses, for me, my traumas, I will share real quick. Second. Was I used music. I used Bon Jovi, It's My Life.
Mhm.
It's a great song. Now or
Mhm.
never, I ain't gonna live forever. And
Mhm.
so that I would crank that up and and it would help to take my mind out of that. Another skill that is really great is when you're in a trauma or going through it, is to start walking around and say, let go and let God, or let go and let love, and keep saying it over and over and over again until that all of a sudden it'll be gone. It's not holding you. That's worked many times too. And I give that to people. But yeah, music has been the thing that I've used. I just crank it up and start singing it and dancing. Unstoppable. I'm unstoppable.
Yeah, yeah. And also, like medically or therapeutically, if every trauma which we deal with, like every trauma has a series of kind of incidents. Suppose trauma took place within 15 minutes of life. Yeah. So all of the 15 minutes of trauma in the past, the people remember a trigger photo,
It triggers what?
a trigger symbol. Like they
photo.
go and they remember one photograph, and that will
Yeah.
trigger the whole memory. So the moment they see the photograph, they don't want to see it. No, because it will trigger the process. So this is also an important point to note that all trauma are like they kind of a spark there. Something will spark that where
Yes.
mind will start to move. So they have a trigger point, which I am remembering like right now. You say, no, like a trigger point. So this, like if I'm seeing it, oh, past, oh, this is a painful picture. No?
Mm-hmm.
Like incident is a big, but it will be a kind of symbolic, small picture, snapshot. And you see, you don't want to see it anymore. You don't want to go deeper into it. More like a birthday memory. So some peak moments are in the brain. And through that, all memory comes up if you stay there. So these are like, if I look and if this photograph is very happy, then I would like to go into the memory. The first door, no, kind of a door, which triggers the whole memory behind it. If not, I'm coming out. So if we can have the Indian point of view, if you have a deity photo, and deity photo, you can choose an attitude there. Like some are blessings, some are compassionate. They are throwing a message. Some is smiling, some protecting. No, you have a feeling. So if we can replace, you look at that and you say, oh, this is traumatic picture. But if you can keep on coming in a positive space, like your deity, someone where you gives the power or trust or to deal with it. Like we in India have deities, like you can see some beautiful deity and you see just feeling, looking at that, oh, compassion coming up. No, like Michelangelo has created an art which can, the sculpture is speaking to you. So if you can have the collection of these impressions over you, and so looking at that, meditating, and come to your power, like in a positive space, and then again look at the same trauma moment. So with this strength, slowly, you will be able to see it and face it and relive it.
Mm-hmm.
So this way, or also we use mantras. Mantra. So mantras can, a long mantra can create a picture. Like mantra has a meaning. Like it's describing the face of the deity, the arms of the deity, the power of the deity. And you say, wow, so much power. The goddess Durga there to protect me. So my deity, it has a power, it has intelligence, it has logic, it has all kinds of 8 hands, 8 functions. She is protecting. So if you're using that deity, and then you have a different picture in front of you. And if you can superimpose with this picture, you can look back to your traumas and relive it with this strength. Or chanting mantras. So you keep on chanting mantras, which brain is creating visuals for that mantras. If it is a long mantra, or even simple mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. So you have a deity and you can project the whatever you want to project in your deity. With this strength, either you can superimpose that pictures which is not allowing you to see the trauma. You take the deity picture and then look at this incident. You will have strength to relive it. Problem is that we don't want to see it. You don't want to feel it. We don't want to listen anything from that. We are blocking it. And you are saying it's releasing, It's a music way, and also we can use deities and their mantras. It helps.
You can use regression therapy too and have them change the outcome.
Regression is the only way, some or this way or that way. We
Yeah.
are taking it as a regression, and we can go both way, like modern regression and progression both. You take them first to regression in associative method with your support to live it identified way, and then you can also bring it in front of you in this identified way to face it, and also taking the insight and progressing patterns in the future to see it. If it is healed, how now you see your future? Because before you see future differently, because there was a trauma holding you back to project you in the future. And now it is not, then how smoothly you can move into the future, which depression people cannot do. People in depression cannot project bright future. What is happening? Nothing. Just a trauma. They don't want to live it.
Thoughts create reality. Yeah, I think traumas, like you said, are kind of a blessing in its own way, because when you overcome them, you become more empowered. You know yourself better.
Okay. Yeah.
You can be more honest about everything because you're honest with yourself. It's very powerful. At least that's how it's affected me, is in the traumas, and because we all go through them. None of us get through
There
life
is
alone.
no other way. There is no. If we escape, we make more complexity. Bigger traumas, and bigger traumas keep on coming. If we escape any of one of them, so only way to live it, and that's why we put it, yoke it with a direction towards intelligence awakening. It can be used many ways, but it can be used for the intelligence-based therapy, a therapist which is awakening the intelligence, not only adjusting the environment, adjusting the individual with the environment, but it's creating a radical insight which is transforming individual and empowering it in a holistic way, more with the soul power, rather than only with an ego formation or ego reformation.
I have to talk about one of my traumas, and this is a physical trauma because there's many different kinds of trauma. When I popped my Achilles tendon playing volleyball at 50, immediately, I mean, it sounded like a bat hitting a ball when my Achilles popped, and I went down on the ground, and people came over because it just dropped me to the ground. And immediately I went to my ankle and I started to pull the memory off because it was a trauma. And so I literally started pulling the memory off, and people came over and I said, back up. And I pulled it off, and they said, what are you doing? I said, I'm pulling the memory off. Well, one of the women I was playing volleyball with, her husband was an emergency room doctor. So she called him up and she said, you got to come over here right now. So he came over to the gym and he looked at it and he said, Janine, you popped at 95%. So I only had 5% of my Achilles left. And he said, aren't you in excruciating pain? And I said, no. And he said, because it's supposed to be very painful. And I said, I pulled the memory off. And of course, he looked at me like I was kind of crazy, but they kind of knew me anyway. Anyway, so I ended up, I he sent me to the best surgeon or whatever. And I went in there and he said, you have to have surgery. And I said, no, my body will heal itself. He said, lady, you have to have surgery. You popped at 95. I said, no, my body. He said, whatever, it's your leg. Anyway, I went through 3 casts. I talked to my ankle. I put a thing on my desk at the time. I was working for a newspaper. I put a picture on my desk of a perfect Achilles tendon, and every day I looked at it to put it in my subconscious mind. Anyway, by the time he took my boot off, he squeezed my ankle. He said, does that hurt? And I said, no. He squeezed it harder. Does that hurt? Anyway, I got up and then I had to wear a boot for a while. Well, then I went to Runner's Flat to see if I needed an insert in my shoe. when I went there, he said, roll up your pant legs. And I walked and he said, I can't tell which leg it is. So our mind is so powerful if
Mm,
we take control of it and not fall into fear.
mm.
And that's what happens in trauma. It becomes a fear. And that fear holds us back as far as, you know. So I just had to tell that little story because a lot of people think I'm crazy a lot, but I'm not. I'm not. I don't know why I know to do that stuff. I just do.
Yeah, only one question, Jenny. If you
Yeah.
pull the memory off, is it it's anyway because you are not connecting it to the conscious mind. So does it have tendency to repeat the same? Did you got any other time same injury or same thing or same?
No.
No.
No, because I think when you focus that deep at something, you're using all of yourself to
Mhm.
become a
But
part of
because
it.
you positively worked, so that has
Yeah.
that's how, yeah,
I
it
think
cannot be
it's
repeated.
already connected because everything's
Mm,
connected anyway.
mm,
And so, but I made everybody back up so I could totally focus
mm,
on what I was doing.
mm.
So anyway, yeah, it worked, you know.
Yeah, I'm also exploring a very different way of physical traumas I'm dealing with, like
Yeah.
healing myself, or many times I'm working, but working in the same way, just like giving a very nice projections of the body, like you change the projection of your body in a conscious mind.
Mhm.
Like a healthy, you give an idea, this is what I want.
Mhm.
If you can convey the masses very directly, the body will accept, because if mind has to believe fully, if mind believes fully, body accepts it.
Belief. It's all
Yeah,
about belief.
it's
Whatever you
all
believe,
about
you're
the
great.
believing the mind. If mind
I
believes yes it can heal, it heals. If mind doesn't believe, it doesn't work with the body. If
What's good is to look in the mirror and look in your eyes, though, because when you look in your eyes, you're going into your soul and you can speak things into yourself by looking into a mirror. It's very powerful
mm,
because we're talking to the soul and the body at the same time.
mm. I
So,
haven't tried this. Yes, but confirmation methods can work. I haven't tried this mirror talking. I used to have this mirror gazing in young age, teenage. We used to, like, one of the things that you put mirror and just keep on gazing the mirror.
mhm.
Even the
Oh, yeah.
tears are rolling, but you don't blink your eyes. So tears keeps on rolling, 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 and after some time they will become dry. Like they don't, and the tears will stop after some time. And you just, but do nothing, just watch in the mirror. But that is a very different experience.
That's actually a skill. An Oriental woman in Canada, when I took my classes there, had mirrors and she lit a candle in front of the mirror. Have you ever heard of this?
Yeah,
Where
usually
you,
you do with a candle also, but you can do
well,
without.
and you look at the light in the mirror of the candle, not the candle,
Hmm.
and it literally takes you into the spirit world if you
Yeah,
can
we were
focus on
not
it.
doing, we were seeing our face, and then face will start to distort,
Mhm.
and then
Right.
faces will start to change. Many faces. So you see yourself into hundreds of personalities inside. Your psychic minds open up. So your all personalities, things, maybe past life, this, that, all starts to pass through like a reel. It's a,
Powerful.
it's a, it's a very different experience, but in a very hatha yoga way. Like it's a hatha yoga technique to put a candle or a mirror or gazing, only gazing. You can do with the stars or moon. It's for different kind of people. You can, the object choice can be different. But if you do nothing, just like that is the very powerful this mirror and candle, because many times people get scared because sudden things changes and you are in a subconscious throws up. So you start seeing your subconscious not with the closed eyes, but your open eyes. And some people may get scared. They think there's a ghost, a spirit, because things starts to change in the mirror. And your own faces, maybe you have been demon sometime. Who knows that always you are not a beautiful spirit sometimes. You could be a demon also, and so that also can come up. So this should be guided. It should be under the guidance of an expert with the techniques like mirror with the candle. Very powerful, and it can change the mind within one sitting. In one sitting, it can give you very deep experiences, which you will not be can be another trauma. Another trauma, no?
Yeah,
And
I
then you
was
will never
traumatized.
meditate. Meditation, no, no, no. I don't want to meditate. Healing, no, 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 no.
I was traumatized by my counselor.
Yeah, many meditators get traumatized and they never meditate because same block happens. Even they try to meditate, but they're sabotaging. They don't meditate because the experience is so deep. After that, they don't want to go. So the meditation experience can also become a trauma itself.
Oh, yeah. But that's for the counselor to understand how far to take things. And
You also was traumatized when you meet me first time. You said you were afraid.
Oh, I was. I couldn't say your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. You knew it too, didn't you?
Yeah. So you
So I
see
had your
such.
what?
Yeah. Okay. Explain.
Well, when you came in, your aura for one thing, and then because I'd been up all night from coming to your class and being vibrating all night, I was just like, anyway, I was real expanded. Anyway, so I had your friend come up and introduce you on the show because I was afraid I'd mix your name up. I was scared. Oh, that was cute though. Oh
It's
my
scared
God.
to even take. See, it's scared to even take my name, just
Yeah,
because of any spiritual experience which you can't explain. No?
yeah. Oh yeah. That was fun.
And
That was
so,
fun.
any trauma, you see, this meditation experiences can also be traumatic, and it is traumatic. I tell you, it's the experiences I have gone through which really transformed me. The truth, the experiences of truth is really, in a way, it's ecstasy, it's a bliss. But the knowledge which you are gaining, it's blowing your whole knowledge off. Your past is fully shattered. Your understandings are fully shattered. Whatever you knew before is no more truth. So it's a trauma. It's also a trauma.
It's a good trauma though. I think all trauma is good. I mean, I don't want to say that to people but if you can overcome it and find the joy and I know people that have lost children are so traumatized, but what happens from that is they start an organization to protect the children, and it creates a new passion in life that helps others. Um, so if we can take that and we can and direct it in a positive way, it can help the world. It can help everyone
Yeah, if we
because we
just
really
change
hear from
the
everyone.
shift of looking at the phenomena and understanding that it only traumas which is giving us intelligence.
Yep. I was trying to think of anything else. But what are the major of all the traumas? Because I know that you counsel quite a bit. What would you say is the most prevalent for you of traumas that you deal with people?
Most prevalent trauma which we have been dealing, and I have experience of more meditative groups, like people seriously, sincerely trying their best to be enlightened. This kind of group I have been always like group of meditators and yogis,
And they
in
get
which
scared?
yeah, all yogis are scared. I was scared when I didn't know. One time craniosacral therapy. Craniosacral therapy, where therapists work on the rhythm of the cranium to bring out the deep subconscious stuff. The theory is that in the cranium there is a rhythm, no?
Yeah.
It's a rhythm. And through that rhythm, they work, make you unconscious also with the touch, and bring out each body has memories. So, like shoulders, so they can bring out the memories from the shoulders, from the knees. And one time I was four therapists were working over my body. So in the beginning, I was lying and four people were working. So it was just for experiment. And then one therapist who is the boss, he bring out his knee, his hands to my knee. And I didn't know. I become fully unconscious, uncontrollable. Like I lost. So when I consciousness come, I saw that the big therapist, the boss, like who was the head of the therapist, he was looking after me and saying, fear of becoming unconscious, fear of becoming unconscious. So at that time, I was so much inclined to be enlightened, to know the truth, and even in sleep to be awake. Oh, that was day and night effort that I remain awake, even I sleep. So I had the greatest fear that I should not be unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
You see how worry. So I am meditating, fully devoted, but deep down in subconscious, I am carrying a fear that to be unconscious is a taboo because you have devoted your whole life for one purpose, dropping all your desires. You are working for one desire. So in one desire and working day and night, even in sleep, watching the dreams, all the way you are trying to be aware. So a deep fear inside, remain if I become unconscious, I should not become unconscious at any cost. And that was the deep fear. So when it was in the knee, and I had much problem in the knee when I was young. Now my knees are more flexible than when I was 20 and 30. Like, yeah, more balance, more flexible, more I can climb, jump, everything I can do, and no pain.
You know, in Reiki, what problems with the knee is not bending with life.
Yeah, many things, many psychological things, and basically it is fear. So the shoulders, yes, I can power, the bull power, no? Powerful bull power here. You can feel like a bull when you start to work in a psychic way. I was feeling like I have a power like a bull. No, I can. And then when they come to me, oh, I lost my consciousness. And then I was panicked because I was trying not to be unconscious and I'm becoming unconscious. Oh my God, I cannot be enlightened. No, my life is wasted. I cannot hold my consciousness now in this trauma. And then thus I came to know, wow, this can be also a trauma. You are very sattvic. You are working day and night, meditating, full routine is set in one direction with one purpose. You are not entertaining anything else, and you are afraid to become unconscious. The whole effort is becoming a trauma. So it's a very, mind is very deep, body is very mysterious. The moment you put overburden, it starts to work in a different way.
Do you remember where that started from that went into your knee? What age, or did you go back to that?
No, no age, nothing. It was craniosacral works on a parasympathetic nervous system. Now the rhythm which is in your spine, the rhythm which is in your brain, your bone marrows also vibrating. So there is a pulse. It has a different rhythm. So it works very deep, not on your mind cannot function in memories and dates and like this. It goes very deep unconscious and just the feeling. Like your jaw will clench, your hands will become like this, like it will show the symptom over the body.
Could it be a past life?
I have no idea. This you can't.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It can be from anywhere, doesn't matter. But I can relate only to this life. Yes, this life I created it unconsciously to fear to be unconscious. The greatest fear I had. I didn't know.
What is the possibility, because I've had this happen to me before, that you can absorb or you can come near someone that had injured you in a past life and it triggers the memory in your body and creates pain? I've had that
Pardon?
happen to me many times. Of course, it's kind of off the subject,
Mhm.
which I always do, go off the
Hmm.
subject. But I mean, it just popped in my mind because how much of pain and illness do we absorb off people or from a past life? Because I've had that happen. I get in somebody's energy field and I'll have a trauma in my body, but it's a memory from an injury from them from a past life. Have you dealt with that at all?
Yeah, I have seen. I didn't work so much on past life. I just had few glimpses and a deep understanding. No, one deep understanding that my goodness, it's one simple desire can create a mesh in your life. No? Like if you have a desire to have sex with one woman in one life and you did not somehow, now this will be fulfilled, howsoever time it takes. It will take one life, two life, three life, four life, doesn't matter. Somehow you have to complete it, particularly the desires of bodies.
Hmm.
And yeah, and cracks of psychodrama. So once I saw this whole mess, I said, my God, I don't want it. No, I don't.
What'd you see?
I see a connection with one woman, and it was a very strange. So I'm psychic, no? I just
Yeah.
need something, anything to connect. And I had a photograph. So, so incidentally, she gave me a photograph. So I started looking at the photograph. The photograph was of his boyfriend in Sri Lanka.
Mhm.
So, and there was a drastic age difference between this couple, and the whole relationship was very uncertain. So I saw the picture, and then I started drifting. Mm. At the time, I had ability to see past life of anyone with anything.
Mhm.
After that, I stopped it consciously. That I don't want to go with this mess in past life. So, but only this incident at the time, which was open, this whole, I used to see past lives of anyone, anything, anywhere, anybody. So I needed just to saw the picture. I started seeing, and then I started to drift. Then I seeing the whole life of this man. Not only one, many, one upon another, in relation to me,
Your connection
my connection.
to the
And
man.
I am seeing him together, me and him, thousands of years before. And then seeing this woman playing in the middle. This woman playing in the middle. If she is with me, that man wants her. If she is with her, I want her.
Mm-hmm.
And this jargon keeps on creating us three meeting together, different ways.
Right.
And thousands of years, and I see one life, two life, three, four, five. My goodness, it's not ending. The woman says, I found my soulmate.
Oh,
I say,
jeez.
Namaste. This is it. And this is the closing the chapter here and now forever. No? So for many people, if you see that, oh, past life connection means we need to continue.
Yeah, just so
But
you
many things you don't
literally,
need to continue. I didn't want, I wanted to have a full stop of all continuation. So that insight, and that was end. I said, I'm putting an end to it.
and
This
that's
is
all
the
we
time
have
to
to
end
do
it.
is
I don't
it,
want
yeah.
this kind of unnecessary jargons playing on, no, like this.
Yeah.
And that was conscious decision, seeing everything, and I stopped it. But I understood the whole game of past life. I understand it's all same. We are repeating and repeating and repeating and only repeating and learning nothing. Learning nothing, just repeating.
That's, you know what? I tell my kids that when they were younger and they'd fight, they'd say, I hate you. And I said, well, if you guys don't work this out, you have to come back and go through it all again in your next life. So you better work it out. So I start programming at a young age. Don't have any problems with anybody because then you're going to have to come back and go through it again. So we as parents should really promote that with our children,
Yeah,
especially
but
when they're
just I'm saying that looking at the things in different way for someone is a great opportunity to continue the same patterns over again.
Oh
And
yeah,
for me, it's
absolutely.
a foolish stop. This is fully idiotic. I don't want to continue this deep relationship anymore. I don't want to go deeper. Because nothing, it's just same repetition, same psychodrama, same trips, same ego, same desires, and you are dying with it and being born with it and unnecessary creating, no, not learning. So my
Absolutely.
life, this life is putting full stop to almost everything. So that's what this is also a trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying that it's a trauma. We keep on learning, overcoming, learning, and overcoming, and growing in our intelligence.
I have a question. So do you think babies can remember traumas?
Body, yes. We don't forget
And
anything.
so a baby that sees a trauma, it actually it's
It's in the body,
there.
directly body.
But how are they going to remember that as a baby
Body
to be able to
remembers. Body remembers.
so in a meditative state, even though they might not bring up the memory, it can be released. Correct?
In meditative states, it's a natural process of unwinding. No, like
Even if they
meditation
don't
means,
remember it.
suppose I'm doing exercise, I'm making my body healthy. If I'm sitting, oh, I have a pain. If there is no pain, I'm not. The same is the mind. The moment you sit, mind will go to all the wounds. All the wounds. If we leave it naturally, it will find its own way. That much you are prepared, that much it will go. If we are not taking consciously, oh, I just want to fix this problem. And this problem is big one. So where people get caught because you have not learned enough, your awareness is not enough to overcome this such a deep problem which you are pointing. If you simply meditate every day, just sit, then small traumas will come to you first. And slowly, the more you will be prepared in natural way, the nature will lead you to deeper traumas, the deeper issues. If we are not choosing consciously, sometimes life gives conscious choice. Oh, this is the trauma I want to resolve. Then you need a therapist because you are consciously choosing it. You need a support. If you are not just believing in God or your deity, just sitting every day, then slowly, only that trauma comes which you can resolve by yourself. If you don't become over like by yourself, just doing nothing, simply sitting, and then a small incident of yesterday, small fight with this, small, slowly you learn with small things. Good. And then it starts to take you deeper and deeper to maybe
So
past life, to this, to another way. Memory has a strange way of connection, index memories. They can give you glimpse, and also without realizing it, if your awareness is high, then traumas are released in seconds. You don't even have to go to 1 billion traumas you had. You don't need to go to look at them. You just sit and they go with the awareness. If it is high, they start to pass through with the light speed. Zoom. They will start to disappear. Just like you will have something past. But what? I didn't know. But trauma released. in meditation.
So I have a question too. It just popped in my mind. When I was young, I sucked my thumb, and because I had a feather pillow, I broke feathers. Is that normal? Of course, I don't know if I've ever been quote normal, but that just popped in my mind as a child that sucks his thumb. Is that a form of making them feel secure? And then I always had a pillow that I broke feathers. And what's your philosophy on a child that sucks their thumb?
What's your philosophy about?
I'm asking, what's your philosophy about, or whatever, about a child that sucks their thumb?
Oh, simple.
Because a lot
Very
of them do
simple.
it in the womb.
Did I tell you the story, one famous story when we have been having training about child sucking the thumb, what to do about it? So a case is registered in our classical books and stories that a woman came to therapist when we were having therapist training. This story was being told how to handle this kind of children. So a woman came with a child to a therapist with the same problem. He's sucking his thumb, and he was quite old, like for the sucking thumb. In the beginning, everything nice, but if the children grows, we don't like the 5, 6, 7, 8 sucking thumb. So the therapist look at the mother and look at the child and says, "What you are doing? He has all the rights to suck his thumb. It's his thumb, and it is his mouth. Who are you to interfere in the middle of this freedom of this boy whose thumb is his, mouth is his, time is his, energies? He has all the right to suck his thumb. This child must suck thumb, and now you take care. You see, he must enjoy. Look how much he's enjoying sucking thumb. You are a mother, you should take care of his enjoyment. Now take care every morning, evening, and daytime. He must sit there and suck his thumb. Say, yes, this is the take care. You are. And then our mother says, oh, 6 o'clock, sit there and suck your thumb. Now, one day, next day, he said, I don't want to.
Yep.
So dealing with psychology, he whatsoever, no, like the boy dropped. He doesn't want to see. It was no more fun.
But you know what? When I think back, nobody ever gave me a hard time about it. So I'm thinking, because some babies, they take pictures of babies in the womb where they're actually sucking their thumb in the womb. Isn't that interesting? But maybe it's
Yeah.
just a natural function
Well,
because of.
psychologically or physiologically, this thumb is a brain.
I know. That's
So if
right.
you are sucking the thumb, in a way, you are massaging your brain.
That's what changed me. Oh my God.
How to
Oh,
explain it? I don't understand. But this is one very concrete explanation that in acupuncture, we study this is our brain.
oh,
So if
oh,
you
this
want to
is,
massage your brain, better suck your thumb.
or your big toe, right?
Yeah, big Joe.
Uh, I was, I was
If it is a
evolved, but I'm a people.
small trauma, you take your yeah, thumb. Thumb will work. If it is a big trauma, toe will work.
So I was evolved at a very young age.
Yeah,
No,
big one, toe or thumb.
oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh,
And how you come out of sucking thumb when you dropped it?
well, I bet I did it every night. I bet until seventh grade,
Mm,
only when I went to bed.
yeah.
But it's still, today I either have to doodle when I do things to absorb things, or at night when what comforts me is I still have my feather pillow at night. And even if, when I was married, I have my pillow and the kids would come up and they'd be breaking feathers with me and my pillow. And my son told me that he said, Mom, when you would do that at night, because I'd lay down and put my kids to bed, he said that would put me to sleep, you breaking those feathers.
Well, I don't know,
no.
but what you are doing, I will explain it classically. In Tantra books, sucking your thumb is a technique of enlightenment. It says, suck anything. It doesn't matter what, but it says suck the breast.
Right. Nursing.
But you can use suck your thumb or suck the baby bottles, which bottles babies are drinking, this milk bottle like this. So we give pseudo suckers to the children in the mouth to close their mouth.
We're getting way out there. I love it. I love it.
So you can use anything to suck, and the moment you suck, it has a memory of your mother's breast sucking.
Right.
So these two are linked, the process of sucking and sucking the mother breast, where you were fully felt like nourished and protected, the best memory.
Right.
The best memory of being fed, being protected, being cared and nourished, the best memory you have. So you are saying, using the regression methods and coming to a space hooking on, this is the method of enlightenment, basically, in tantric techniques, that you can use any breast, like, and suck, and slowly you travel to this and become the process of sucking only, because you will have no identity, no name. The memory which is linking with your mother breast, whether you did not have a name or anything to do, you are in a different space, a primordial state of the mind. So through that, if you go awarenessly, that time you were not aware. So reliving is the main thing. No? With awarenessly, you go to the same space. With consciously, that was my fear. Oh, I will lose my consciousness. No? I should go consciously there. Otherwise, no point. Your effort is wasted. Otherwise, it's different. You will go to sleep. You will fall asleep. You will not reach there. So trying in that way, you can access the same space where you are fully protected, fully nourished, but hence you are going through awareness process, using it as a meditation technique, and you are fully aware, and you have distance from the mind, that look, I'm giving this mind as a technique. No? It's a meditation. Sucking the breast, becoming a meditation. Or not the sucking thumb or bottle, anyway, all works. Any way you can use, all can take you to the same space. And if you move awarenessly, you become enlightened. Because you are conscious. And you become conscious of that state where your mind has no name. A tabula rasa, complete innocence. And you are in a bliss. That you are accessing through consciously. If you have this access, now you can deal with any trauma, cope with any situation in your life, because you have access awareness. You know that I have this mind, and now this mind is just for a while. And you can easily look to any suffering if you have re-experienced a better bliss. If you have re-experienced any of the blissful state, compared to that, any trauma you will deal with, because that will be smaller.
Do that.
So here I'm concluding dealing with trauma, there are many techniques. Incidentally, the breast sucking is the best one.
Jeez. Isn't that
If-
bizarre? You even brought
If
that up.
not, if
What
not,
the
your
heck?
thumb or toes, and any bottle, baby bottle will do, or even pseudo one.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, that helps in anti-smoking. Is the best medicine
What'd you say?
for anti-smoking. If any smoker wants to get rid of it, can try this technique. It's the same breast sucking, same breast sucking. Person is missing and want to go in regression, so it helps to go in regression. Same state. Same state.
Okay.
Yeah, same state. The cigarette brings you back to the same regression state. And then suddenly you are no more a boss. You are no more this. You drop the whole thing. And then suddenly you come out with insight. Because you got a distance and hook on to regression state. Then person thinks it's the cigarette which is bringing insight to his work and supporting its work. It's not. It's just the regression state. You can use your thumb or breast or water bottle. A baby bottle.
All right.
Yeah, it's a regression. We have to deal with a lot of traumas. So each person has to invent a regression to go into the regression state without responsibility, without anything to access it. Some people who cannot access, they become very serious, then they are very much intention. Serious. And this loses, you can lose your seriousness. Regression. You can lose your seriousness. And the moment you lose your seriousness, your creative power comes up. And then suddenly you start to see insight and the way where you were seeing the problem. That's where the regression helps. And if you do it consciously, then you are enlightened. If you do unconsciously, you are dependent on a therapist. So we are concluding in a way that we can deal trauma in many ways using methods to go in regression and access to a state where we are fully secured, trusting, nourishing, which we all have. Yeah, some children cannot have traumas because they are not touched by mother or they're not fed with love. Then if you access that, then you get not feel good about it because somebody did not give you free. But if you have a nice mother, like a simple mother, which each mother is simple and in simplicity is the mothering, then simply you have this experience with the mother, the breastfeeding. So we can use regression, go to that state where we are a child. Or in yoga, we have a womb breathing, a special rhythm. Womb breathing, a special rhythm of pranayama when you were in the womb, not sucking breast, more deeper. More deeper when you were inside. There was a rhythm of prana. So if we, like sitting here, if I circulate that rhythm, suddenly I am in a womb, but cosmic womb. Like the womb of the whole nature. The nature is there to protect me. So simulation, regression, either in the womb or out of the womb, sucking, breast state to regression helps a lot to deal almost all kind of traumas. Almost all you can deal with two regression ways. Other, you should have a deity which should have a positive attitude. Looking at the deity, you are feeling compassionate, loving, or trusting, or powerful, or intelligent, some way, some quality it is evoking in you when you are becoming identified. So this become first identified with all your positive states, they become powerful, and then look at the trauma, they will look small. If you look at the trauma as a small man, they will look very big, relative way. So it's always suggested please, if you feel you are as a small man, don't try to deal with any trauma because all will be bigger than you. And it will convince you more that I'm smaller and smaller and smaller. So if you want to deal with any trauma in your life, gather strength. So your deities, mantras, technique, therapist. No, don't try to be smart yourself unless you have a very good trusting point to give you a power. And with this power, look at the traumas. Bigger the traumas, more power you need to harness or more regression you need to go. So either we can go to the sucking breast, the birth canal, and in the womb, and the past life. So we can go with anyone in the regression way and conscious positive way. You should choose a deity which is very powerful, trusting, protecting, knowledgeable, and connect, be identified with the deities, with the mantras of the deities, get connected. And when you feel, yes, I am my deity, no, not I am me, not a small man who feels the trauma, I am Durga, I am Kali, and then look at your trauma. So that's how this personalistic aspect of God, which we worship, it's just to deal with our traumas in processing unit. So in processing unit, no traumas. Wherever traumas, this deity appearing, changing the pictures in the processing, replacing it. And then mind comes to, oh, I have my deity everywhere in the processing unit. So the processing unit remains proper. If processing unit is proper, we have our better emotional intelligence. And then no hormonal problem. And then good joints, flexible body, nice body. So nice seeing you, Jenny. If you want to say something, anything, one sentence, any message?
No,
any message?
No, I don't do.
To teenagers.
No beliefs.
To teenagers.
Oh, what was it? What was it? I was if you do, you will. If you don't, you won't. That was my new thing that came to me.
If you do, you will.
If you don't, you won't.
Oh, very nice, no? Once I was watching the cricket, and the commentators there before it starting, they look very intelligent. You know, say, the match is going to be start, the team which will play very good will win, the team who will not play good will not win. Very nice commentary and very nice predictions. So you are giving it to the teenagers. If you do,
you will. If you don't, you won't.
If you do, you will. If you don't,
you won't.
This is the teenagers. Wow, Jenny. Teenager angels, masses. Nice to see you. Give me a topic next time.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.
Namaste.